Yahoo! Welcome, my beautiful brothers and sisters, to the Aquarian Adepts, my platform to become your spiritual server. And welcome to your daily horoscope for today. Was it Monday, July the 16th of 2018. Thank you so much for joining me on this video. And what's going on in the astrology today? Well, compared to the rest of the week, today's kind of a low-key day. Not much is really happening as far as exact aspects or any planets switching signs. We do have the moon in Virgo, which is really having us emotionally focusing on all the facts, emotionally trying to figure everything out. You know, whenever the moon is in Virgo, we're trying to emotionally kind of understand and overstand our reality and trying to figure out what exactly is happening and trying to really figure out all the details, and that's where we're really kind of pulled to. So the moon is going to come on top of Venus. In fact, at the time of me making this video, it already has conjuncted Venus. And you know, Venus doesn't like to be in Virgo, you know, because Venus, you know, now it has to worry about all the facts itself, you know, and whereas Venus would rather just have like a glass of wine on the beach and just kind of relax and chill. So Venus can't really do that. Venus is kind of like, you know, Venus has to kind of go through like this deep cleaning of, you know, what we really want, how to attract these things, what we really value, you know, as far as this area. So when the moon comes over this space, we're really going to be keyed into that exactly, to that deep cleaning that we are going to be doing as far as what we're attracted to and what we value. The moon will be sextiling Jupiter, which is now direct. Well, this is actually going to be very nice. In fact, I think it's going to be the first sextile that it makes to Jupiter since Jupiter has gone direct. So this is going to be really nice because, you know, like I said, with the moon being in Virgo, we're going to be wanting to mostly trying to figure everything out, even though we're not going to have all the details, we're not going to have all the facts, which might frustrate us. But the sextile to Jupiter is going to be like, well, you know, you can dive deeper, you can dig deeper, and really, you know, what are these deeper desires? What really does turn you on? What doors can you open? And do you trust yourself? Do you trust yourself to be able to create? And do you trust the universe despite not having all the facts, despite not having all the details? Because sometimes that can happen where it's like we want to kind of know everything before we jump into something, before we jump into a manifestation or you jump into a decision. But we don't have all the details. We have to consider that the moon is going to be, you know, trining Capricorn energy, which has to do with decision makings, and like, you know, actually committing to something. So we're going to have that energy to deal with. You know, do we really trust ourselves? Do we really trust the universe despite not having all the facts and having all the details? The moon also will be opposing Neptune retrograde, which this is already going to bring a bit of a mystical element today, where really it's like you can definitely go for your dreams, you can definitely go for these deeper facets of reality and connect spiritually, but are you falling for illusions? Are you falling for delusions? That's the thing about Neptune, is that it does rule spirituality, it does rule this connection to our higher self, and it does rule this connection to like these interdimensional realities. But at the same time, is it like, are you in a delusion, you know, or are you getting caught up? Or this can be a time where it's like, you know, you could be deluding yourself to believing that you're moving forward when really you're not. Maybe, you know, having a drink every day is not going to do it. You know, maybe, you know, taking that drug every day is not really going to help you. You know, there's certain facets of reality where it's like, you know, with Pisces, you can definitely feel trapped. It also rules prisons. So the moon in Virgo opposing Neptune can also kind of key us in on where do we kind of hold ourselves prisoner? Where do we hold ourselves prisoners spiritually, and how can we break free of this? How can we expand past this? Because you have to also consider Virgo is mutable earth. So even though it's even though it's an earth, you know, element, even though it's the earth element, which deals with groundedness and practicality, it is mutable. So that means that our environment and that which we see in our physical reality is subject to change. It's subject to be mutable and adaptable. So even though this opposition, you may find yourself maybe deluding yourself into believing that a certain direction is going in the right way, or maybe you're deluding yourself and like maybe you don't necessarily have that connection to spirit like you want to. It can change. It is mutable, and you can actually adapt and change your environment. We have to consider that's why Venus is here as well, because we're opening up, you know, to how can we create our day-to-day reality in a way to where we integrate our spiritual practice and our higher spiritual nature into it every single day, to where now it's not just a fad that we do these things. It's not just a fad that we meditate or do yoga. It's integral, and it's almost become second nature, like breathing. That's really what this is about. We also have to consider, and this is kind of a smaller aspect, but we do have Mercury, which is going to be quincunxing over to Pluto retrograde. And both of these are 19 degrees. And it's kind of interesting because even though Pluto's retrograde and Mercury is not, Mercury is in shadow period, technically. So it's not necessarily at its strongest. And even though it's in Leo, which is about speaking from the heart space and really speaking our passions into reality, when it makes its quincunx over to Pluto, which I call the awkward stare from across the room, Pluto is like, okay, yeah, you can express from your heart and you can speak from your heart, but I'm also coming through and I'm destroying these traditions, I'm destroying these structures. So the platform that you're speaking from, are you sure that the structure underneath it is stable? Because I might be coming through and wrecking that. So that's the thing. It's like we can be speaking our heart from a platform, but Pluto might destroy that platform. So we have to be aware, and we have to be like, is this something that I really can see myself doing in the future? Can I project like the space that I'm speaking from in my heart? Is this something that I will be speaking in from? Is this like a place that I'll be coming from 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 15 years from now, 20 years from now? Does this have a long-standing vision? Or am I just riled up in the moment? Am I caught up in my emotions because this is still Cancer season? Am I super caught up? And have I not created and fostered the emotional intelligence to actually have a long-standing vision? Or am I just caught up in the current events of things? There's nothing wrong with being aware of the current events and being aware of what's happening, but does it have a long-standing vision? Can it actually be something that is sustained? So that's going to be that whole Mercury quincunx over to Pluto. But overall, there's not super much happening today. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be a bit of an emotional day. And like I said, with that, it's really going to be, and you're going to feel it when the moon opposes Neptune. It's going to be this kind of like this kick from spirit, kind of like, hey, we're here. I know Neptune's retrograde, but if you actually call out to us, we are here. And you can trust, and even though you don't have all the facts, even though you don't have all the details, if you just simply ask for spirit and source to give you a clue or to give you a hint that it's there, it will show itself to you. That is it for your reading today. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And if you would like a personal reading with me, you can follow the link in the description below too. theAquarianAdepts.com. And always remember, my beautiful brothers and sisters, to keep moving forward, to stay focused, and Yahoo! Smile often. Hey guys, what's up? So I realized that I didn't do the tarot card for today, so I know this is a little weird, me coming after the outro and everything, but I just wanted to make this really quick that today was the death card, or what I see as transformation. As you can see, it is a phoenix. I'm not going to talk too much about this, but I do want to ask you this question to carry with you throughout your day, and really even throughout the week. How can I transform the communication I have with my heart to reflect a higher spiritual nature? How can I transform the communication I have with my heart to reflect a higher spiritual nature? Namaste.